Hello, yogis. My name's Emma, and I'm so grateful to have you here with me today for this quick, energizing flow. Let's get started at the top of the mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. If you clicked on this, I'm guessing you might be short on time, but let's make time to get grounded here, finding calm and focus, turning inward as we deepen each inhale and exhale. Maybe leave space for an intention to surface for you organically. You can open your eyes and inhale to sweep your arms up overhead. Draw prayer hands back through heart center, and we'll seal our intentions here before we get moving. Reach the arms up again and grip the left wrist with your right hand, leaning over to the right. Try to stay firm through the core here. It'll really help you to keep the heart open in the side body stretch. Inhaling through center, we'll repeat this stretch on the left. Exhaling to find your depth. Now we'll tilt right again, but this time maybe grab hold of opposite elbow instead of the wrist, making some space through the shoulder. I like to massage the space between my shoulder blades while I do this, just checking in with my spine. Inhale back to mountain, and we'll repeat on the left side. Stay nice and firm through the legs, feet steadily rooted to the mat. Reach the arms up again, and now we'll twist to the right, keeping the hips squared to the front of the mat as much as possible while the arms spread wide like wings. Let your gaze follow the right hand if possible. Inhale to center, then exhale to twist to the left, reaching long, energized all the way through the fingertips. Come back to center, and we'll take a gentle forward fold here, hinging at the hips. Knees can stay bent. We'll ease the low back and hamstrings into this stretch, letting time be the magic ingredient that helps open us up. You might grab hold of elbows and sway from side to side, dangling like a rag doll. Then we'll reach for the floor or maybe some blocks and walk the hands forward a few inches, lifting through the chest. Bend into the left knee and tip your weight forward, shooting the right sits bone really high. This is my favorite quick go-to hamstring opener. We'll switch sides, bending into the right knee, and keep channeling your breath into the stretch. Now, bending the left knee again, we'll walk the hands over to the left, reaching to draw length through both arms. Keep breathing deeply. Inhale through center, and exhale to repeat on the right side. Keep lifting through the hips and pouring weight into the toes. Recenter, and we'll inhale to lift halfway, gazing forward. Exhale to fold deeply, maybe laying the palms on the mat. On our next inhale, we'll roll up to standing, nice and slow, keeping the back rounded on the way up, taking our time, and rolling the shoulders down and back as we find Tadasana, tall and steady as a mountain. Draw hands to heart center, and we'll lift the right knee towards the chest, flexing the right foot. Sweep that foot back as we tilt forward into Warrior 3, just as a transition before planting the right toes at the back of the mat, landing in high lunge. Sweep the arms overhead and take a moment to point the tailbone down before taking the option of adding a back bend if that's in your practice. You can also just keep the spine straight like me and focus on bending deep into that left leg. Lower the left hand to your waist for balance, and we'll tilt leftward with the upper body, reaching across the midline with the right arm, maybe gazing under the tricep. Reach arms overhead again, and then when we exhale, we'll twist to the left here, engaging the core, spreading the arms as wide as we can. Now reach for the right hip or thigh with the left hand to find an exalted crescent lunge, keeping the heart wide open and shining towards the sky, reaching up through right arm. Windmill the right hand down to the mat now, parallel to the left foot, and reach up through the right arm for a revolved low lunge, gazing high, twisting from the core. Stay wide through the collarbone here. Plant the right hand firmly and ground the right foot. We'll stack the left leg on the right to find side plank, reaching the left arm across the ear line. I'm a bad yogi. I didn't take time to place my whole foot on the mat, so you'll see I come close to losing my balance here, but wobbling and laughing are all essential parts of my yoga practice. You can stay right here in side plank, arcing through the side body, or step the left foot behind you and lean back into wild thing, engaging through the glutes and hamstrings to really lift the pelvis here. Gaze can follow the left hand if that's accessible for you. We'll roll back over to plank pose, shifting weight forward through toes and wrists before lowering into chaturanga. Gaze slightly forward to stay long through the neck and broad through the collarbone. Then inhale up to upward dog or cobra, filling the lungs. And exhale, flipping over the toes to downward facing dog. Find stability here, pushing long through the arms before we lift the right leg high. We'll draw that knee to nose and step both feet up to the top of the mat one at a time. Lifting halfway, folding fully, drawing energy from the earth to rise all the way up, landing in Tadasana. Let's take that sequence on the other side now, lifting the left knee towards the chest. Find a focal point for your gaze to stay steady as you lean forward into Warrior 3, staying energized all the way through the left toes. Now we'll step back and reach up for high lunge. Stacking right knee over ankle, letting the shoulders relax down and away from the ears. Tuck the tail to keep the low back long and happy here. It can get really cranky if we let it do all the heavy lifting in poses like this. Right hand can move down to the waist, while left arm reaches up and across the midline. Try engaging the left shoulder blade, drawing it towards the spine to really open up the heart. Come back through center and exhale to twist to the right, arms spreading wide like wings. Use core engagement to steady your balance here. Then we'll open up to an exalted high lunge. Right hand steadies on left hip or thigh, left arm reaches up, maybe back if you're craving a little back bend. Whatever you choose, find a drishti point and keep breathing deeply through the pose. Now we'll lower the left hand to the mat, reach high with the right arm in revolved low lunge, stacking shoulder on shoulder, staying firmly rooted through the right foot. And again, check the placement of your left hand and left foot before pivoting into side plank, arcing the hips nice and high. You can stay right here, or step the right foot back for wild thing if you like. If you're taking a wild thing, stay energized all the way from toes through fingers, pulling as much length as you can. Roll back over to plank, and we'll shift forward for lowering your way through chaturanga or all the way down to the mat. Flow through cobra or up dog, inhaling, and exhale your way to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, finding your stillness. Then lift the left leg high. Exhale and empty the belly completely to draw this knee to your nose. And then step to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, empty again, and fold. We'll root to rise, filling up the lungs, and pull prayer hands through the heart, taking a little pause to absorb that flow. Then we'll reach tall again and hinge at the hips for our deepest forward fold yet. Maybe flipping the hands over so we can stand right on top of the palms, if that's accessible for you today. You can also wrap hands around the backs of the legs or use some blocks. Whatever you choose, keep pouring weight into the toes and reach through the heart to keep the spine nice and long. And let the head be heavy. Every exhale is an opportunity to find more length and more space in every inhale. Release the hands, and now we'll lift just halfway, sinking the hips back into a really deep chair pose. Reach the arms forward for balance and keep the weight in your heels. We're going to aim to lower the hips all the way to the mat, but don't worry if you have to use your hands to help yourself down. It takes a lot of ankle strength and hip mobility to squat this low. Roll back into plow pose, keeping the cervical spine straight and long. And with control, let's roll back up into a comfortable seat. I'll take a seated meditation for Shavasana today, but you're always welcome to lie down, grab a blanket or bolster, whatever helps you to relax so that you can be fully present in this moment. Close the eyes and let the breath find its natural rhythm, releasing breath control. Do a scan of the body, not just to find the places where you can afford to let go, but also to be conscious of it, to listen. Even in stillness, you can let your body speak to you. Use your breath to reassure it. I hear you. I really do. Yoga practice is a way to develop a trusting relationship with your body, and the bond is best strengthened through loving attention and rest, even if we can only catch a few minutes of meditation each day. Keep breathing into your stillness. You can notice your thoughts as they arise, but try not to judge them. And remember, you always have the option to release them as they come by. Let's take our time reawakening the body, opening the eyes slowly. If you're sitting, you can reach the arms overhead and take a gentle twist to the right or the left. If you're reclined, maybe stretch the arms long overhead or windshield wiper the knees to keep the lower back loose. as though you're waking up for the first time. Stretching to get the most out of your day. And wherever you are, let's bring prayer hands to the heart. Take a moment to give thanks for this breath, this body, this moment. Very, very well done, yogis. I'm wishing you so much peace and contentment through the rest of your day. Thank you for being here. See you again soon. Namaste.